Hey, what's up, soldiers? Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. We're gallivanting today. Nothing in the kitchen. Was home down on the islands there. And here's the thing, whenever I get there, the first day, especially if I pull out my camera, my dad wants to play tour guide. So we're going around the house. This is the house, the area where I grew up as a kid on the islands. And basically he's playing tour guide, showing me all the fruit trees and everything else he has planted around the house. So Dad's garden, vibes it up, man. Gallivanting. And this here is soursop, so this one is almost ready to pick. But we have a bird or something eating this one here from the bottom. Let's zoom in. There we go. You can see it's being eaten, but the tree is laden. Got one here, got another one there. All over. Oh, there's another one up here too. And this tree that I'm pointing at here, this is a avocado tree, or as we call it, zabuka, or pear in the Caribbean. I'm too young to start bearing yet, but this is what our avocado tree looks like. I think there's a bigger tree somewhere down there. And this here is a mango tree. I don't think mango is in season right now, but there are a few mangoes in there. As you can see, the flowers, there's a lot of flowers all over. So pretty soon these will become actual mango. And this tree here is a sugar apple. It gets bigger. It's very custard-like inside when it gets bigger and it's ripe, it goes red. There's another one of them. A nice fruit. I'm sure on the other islands it's called something else, but in Trinidad we call it sugar apple.
Planted that last year.
Well, my dad is saying this is all yam vines here, so the yams would be in the dirt down there. I think we did a video before about that, but this one, by the leaf, you can tell it's called kush kush.
Or yampi.
Or yampi. Oh, there's a baby coconut tree. That's what it looks like before it gets all big. Then in the back of the coconut tree here, this is a ginger plant. So this leaf here, that's a ginger plant, and the ginger will be down in the dirt down there when it's ready to be harvested.
This is a pineapple plant.
And this one,
Pineapple.
that's a pineapple plant, the one that I'm shaking here. The pineapple will start growing from there and start forming into a pineapple. This one here is the Mexican avocado. My dad brought back a plant.
Seed.
And planted it here. Then in between the vines here, on the fence, you'll notice what we have. It's like a bean, and it's called same. There's a sort of a bitter sort of taste to it when you cook it.
Similar to the pomerac, but smaller.
And this tree here that's shaking, it's another fruit. There's no fruit on it now, but it's called primrose. And this is what a primrose tree looks like. Very sweet. A little bit of a tartness as well. And the tree behind it, the one that's going up here, that's a sapodilla tree. Breadfruit. Right here. So in this small space of land, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. Of course, another mango tree here. I don't even know what kind it is. And I showed you, this is the soursop here, but right in front of the soursop, we've got coconut. And this is another avocado tree here. This one is called Pollock. I think it's another local variety. But again, it's there's none on it right now. It's out of season. It's a big mango tree there. Here we have dashin, and the baby leaves we use to make what we call baji or kalalu. The leaves are called dashin bush. And down in the dirt, we get the actual dashin or taro. And there's another coconut tree here. You can see there's a nice bunch. I had some of that this morning. If you're following me on Instagram, you would have seen me eating or drinking a coconut for breakfast. And this one here is a guava tree, or guava as we call it. There's none on there. And here in the containers, that's what we call fever grass. Most people know it as lemongrass. I just noticed that there's some young guava here. Oh, there we go. There's a baby one. One of the things you'll notice throughout the Caribbean is water tanks. We don't have massive lakes, and for the most part no massive rivers and stuff like that, so we do have water supply issues. So when we do have pipe-borne water, we fill up the tanks. So the days we can't get water from the street, from the, I think it's called Wassa Water and Sewage Authority, I think, this is where we store it, just for the days when water supply is low. And this small plant here, this is a baby orange tree. It's a while to go before we actually get oranges from it. Man jumping in my video. And then over here is what we call Portugal, or Portugal, or pretty gal. Another small tree that's not ready to bear yet.
There's cassava, manioc.
They use the entire, any place that they can plant, they plant. So this is the front of the house. There's a sort of yard there, but you can see there's okra. So there's a row of okra plants, or okra. And then if you look down here, my Trinbagonians will recognize this one. And that is what we call shadow benny, or culantro.
A bigger tree here.
And then this one here, this is what we call pumpsity, or golden apple, I think.
Yeah, golden apple.
There's some on there right now. Very tiny plant. There's a grafted plant, I believe, because normally the trees are massive before they bear. And back to the shadow benny or culantro. I just wanted to show you guys something. This area here, I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. That's where the seeds are. So for the people who are trying to grow it, they will wait till that matures, and then there'll be a whole bunch of seeds there, and that is what you plant. Well, as a sort of herb or seasoning, it's the leaves on the bottom down here that we use in cooking. Yeah, I made my way up the embankment here. So this is a close-up view of the actual orange tree that I showed you earlier. And as we make our way over here, you'll see the Portugal or Portugal tree. Still too small to bear any fruit. A close-up view of the pumpsity or golden apple. And this is the little tiny baby ones. So this probably got a few more weeks to go before it's ready. These are the baby ones, and over here, this is what the actual flowers look like. Oh, there's more on the other side here as well too. We move over here, I'll show you guys something. This is another mango tree here. And this skinny coconut tree goes all the way up. As a kid, I'm the one who planted this tree here, so yeah, your boy was a gardener from young. Planted that coconut tree, and every time I come back home now, I get coconuts from it. Let's see, yeah, you can see the coconuts up there. And this skinny tree here, this is a pomegranate tree. So pretty soon we're going to be getting pomegranates from here. When I was a kid, the same spot, instead of a pomegranate tree, we had a soursop tree and a guava tree. And my dad did got some flowers going here. At the back of the house again, I noticed the coconut. So this is a different variety of coconut. If you notice the color, sort of an orange color. And there's some more to pick there as well. But if you recall, this is the first one that I showed you here. So it was more yellow. And that's another view of the breadfruit tree. Breadfruit is life for me, so too bad there's none on there right now. I'd be making some wicked food with that. Yeah, so if you ever wondered where I grew up in my house, this is my house here. This is my, well, it was rebuilt, but my childhood home was originally here. And the sort of side yard we were just looking at is over here.
Plenty open to dig, especially there. So you have to dig down there low, and then to catch this water. Banana.
Some more coconut trees. We're across the road now. Going to pick pigeon peas to share a recipe with you guys. You can do some curry pigeon peas. And if you notice, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a lot of bamboo and stuff like that. Back here used to be, in the original days, cocoa and coffee used to be back there. The tree in the center there is an immortelle tree, and that's what they used to use to shade the cocoa and coffee trees from the direct sun. This is just bamboo, but way back there, a few hundred feet well, there's a river running through there. I don't know if I can get to it, but that's where I learned to swim as a kid. Oh, look at this. The sensitive plant, or what we call pica. It's got a beautiful flower, man. And the thing about a sensitive plant is, as soon as you touch it, it curls up like, let's test here. As soon as you touch it.
Sensitive plant.
Yeah, I mean, jump in my video again, you know. Why this man don't leave my videos alone, boy? Look at that. And these ones here, these are all ready to pick here. This is what we're gonna harvest. And we're gonna shell to get the peas are on the inside. I'll show you in a bit. For some reason it's not zooming in, but there we go.
Pigeon peas or cajanus.
And here we have a sort of grove with a whole bunch of different banana and moco plantain and stuff like that. You can see some there. There's another big bunch down here. But here's where we have a whole bunch of pigeon peas. This plant here, we've got India's favorite dog here. But this plant here is called it's called Tanya. It's a root vegetable. Well, a root crop anyways. It's down there's a tuber. And I think in Jamaica it's called chocho or cocoa. I can't remember. Hey, look, my dad has, that's corn. More corn here. A lot of corn in between. Excuse me. And this is a pumpkin tree. There's no pumpkin on it yet, though. Oh yeah, this is a we call it Kariley, but it's called bitter melon around the world. Show you the leaves. It's very good for when you have diabetes. The vegetable from it is really bitter, though. I don't like it. There's another pumpkin over here. It has a flower, so that means they're gonna get a pumpkin here pretty soon. This year is a little, so you can see, this is when the coconut goes dry, and then it becomes a plant, and that's the actual plant that's coming up, and that's going to become an actual coconut tree that's going to bear coconuts. Maybe about 10 years.
Maybe about 10.
And to the back of it, that little, I don't know if I can show you here.
Sugarcane.
This is a sugarcane plant, the one that I'm shaking here. It gets pretty big though. That's just a baby. And some more of the dasheen that I showed you that was on the back of our house. But here he has quite a bit of it, and the dasheen needs water, so it's in a sort of a ravine or a creek. There's more and more of it. This is a cassava or yuca plant. And I shared a video with you guys a long time ago, maybe about 2 years ago, how you harvest it. And the cassava is a tuber as well, so it will be growing down in the dirt down there. And this year, this is another tanya plant. If you look at the leaf, it looks like an elephant ears, so it's also known as elephant ears. But the actual, what we would reap would be down in the dirt down there. I want to quickly show you guys something. This is what we call bird pepper. There are some ripe ones in there and some green ones. But my dad was telling me is that they call it bird pepper because the birds would come and feed on it. They would eat the ripe ones, and wherever they fly, and they would leave their droppings, aka here, the plant would just grow. We didn't plant this plant here. According to my dad, this just grew up on its own. So we have a lot of peppers, courtesy of birds. Very hot pepper though. So here we have the actual peas now. We're about to harvest it to get the recipe going. And this tree is laden. There's tons of there all over. It's a bit labor intensive to pick and shell and everything else, but the end product, the dish you get, is wicked, man. And this is after they done harvested there. So now we gotta shell them to get the actual peas from the pod here.